spinning.
The RTR rear-wheel drive drift world has been an MST-dominated market for nearly a decade, but there's a new challenger stepping to the arena that is about to change all of that. Meet the Redcat Racing RDS ready-to-run rear-wheel drive drift chassis. Coming in at an impressive $399 US, this RTR is packed with a modern take on what most other RTRs get turned into after months of research and hundreds of dollars in parts. Opening this box is like opening a piece of history. This is the first American-based RC manufacturer to create and release their own rear-wheel drive drift chassis. Then they packed it with features like carbon fiber decks, top deck mounted direct drive steering system, aluminum body dampers with 6-hole pistons, adjustable turnbuckles, toe blocks, and wheelbase, a rear mounted ESC, magnet mounts from factory to mount your body, a brushless motor in ESC, 3-position clockable motor plate, drift servo and gyro, and let's not forget this unique render-esque body hinting at something like a 400Z meets a Corvette. The experience with this chassis straight out of the box was one that you would come to expect from an RTR platform. Everything is neatly packaged and secure for safe shipping. The box immediately gets your mind turning with its photo renders and showcasing their optional graphics kits, as well as the features you just dropped your hard-earned money on. It truly is Christmas every time you get to crack one of these open. But for me, that was where the similarities end. You reveal something from the packages that made me feel like I made a solid investment, understanding that all of the components included would cost you easily hundreds of more dollars. Would you have to acquire and source them, as well as understand how to properly build them for a different RTR platform. We're all well versed in upgrading RTR platforms, and while I can't say this chassis still wouldn't be improved upon with some key upgrades, the bottom line is this. This is an American designed chassis from an American based manufacturer. This is a huge move, and this is going to change the landscape of the drift scene as we know it. We have their attention. Let's get sliding. Now you can expect us to dive way 2,000 years later, deep into this chassis in the coming year. In fact, we're going to drop episode 1 of our Redcat RDS series next week, so make sure you stay tuned. We were lucky enough to have some insight from the source and can tell you that this project was a labor of love for Redcat. It touched on so many things we've all learned the hard way to upgrade on so many cars in the past, from the simple aluminum dampers with 6-hole pistons, rear ESC plate, and carbon decks, plus that beefier and better equipped stock steering servo that didn't just brown out even after we swapped in an adjustable gyro. Settings are adjustable all over this chassis from factory. This car is worth its weight at $399.99. New drivers will do great with this as a first chassis, while veteran drivers will quickly be able to exploit the vast amount of adjustments and features, making this RTR a competitor at their local track. I am excited to see hundreds of dealers now have a drift car offering to an audience already attentive to the Redcat name, while simultaneously staking their part in a hugely monopolized RTR market. This competition is great for all of us drift guys, as not only will it push the current manufacturers, but if all works like I hope, might finally open the eyes of some of our fellow American-based, no drift love giving RC brands, and give them the kick in the pants they need to start taking our niche of the hobby just a little bit more serious. This is an excellent first iteration of a rear-wheel drive drift car, and as always, there's room for improvement. For me, the gyro fought me long enough that I opted to make that one of my first upgrades, and while it was a definite improvement, it still wasn't where I wanted it to be for a track-ready, purpose-built drift car. In my testing, I concluded that the gyro and radio could leave myself wanting more from my experience. I attempted to adjust the gain on the gyro and just struggled between not enough and too much, inevitably never reaching that sweet spot. Now we tested to see if this could potentially be a servo issue as well, but found that by running a different gyro and a higher end radio, the car was night and day different and totally drivable. So a simple upgrade of your radio and the stock electronics were functioning to their full performance and capabilities. After 8 battery packs through the car, my only other issue has been these darn wheel nuts. They continue to come loose, and these outer plates pop out if you hit walls or just gently tap things. So bashing this car outside could be dangerous. Keep an extra set of hex nuts handy so your day of driving doesn't end early. When buying an RTR, I think one thing to consider is the large audience of users at whom this is marketed towards. This chassis specifically is really aimed at people that are going to drive it with large battery packs and outside in its tune from factory. When coming to a track like ours inside, you're going to definitely want to address the suspension. You're going to want to address a multitude of things in the steering and alignment, just to get the car to roll and grip and do the things that it needs to do on a slippery surface versus driving outside. But that said, as you can see, it's plenty capable at both. And unfortunately, there's a little too much snow on the ground in Colorado to show you how awesome this thing shreds outside. But I promise you, it's coming soon. To conclude our video today, I just want to give a warm welcome to the Redcat RDS. You will have a home at Scale Science for years to come. I also want to give a huge thank you to Shane from Redcat for being such a scholar. Letting me ask you questions and gain some insight from you has made utilizing more of your included features on this chassis easy and effortless. You truly helped create something special, and I want to thank you and the whole crew at Redcat for changing the landscape of rear-wheel drive drift as we know it. If you want to lock up one of these Redcats for yourself, go below and hit the link. We have free shipping for the next week on all sales. And remember, every order from Scale Science comes with free stickers!